How many drop frames are we at? Oh, 0. That's cool. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Wait, is it not? I'm having a hard time. I seem to be having a hard time. Okay. We're live. I can't spell Twitch. Tweet. View. Copy. Copy. Yeah, I don't know if, Alright, I'm posting this in all the pro Discordicans. But we're alive. This probably isn't the best, technically the best way to do it, but whatever. Oh, alright. Hello. Yeah, I don't know why. What happened? I'm a little frazzled now. For no reason. Actually, okay, what I may do, I don't need this. Oh! Yeah. I'm going to... Or not. Oh, God. Okay. Voice and video, default. That should be fine. Hopefully that'll work. Nope. May have to refresh it. Okay, how about now? Nope. Okay. Give me a second. Output device. Oh. Oh, I'm dumb. Wait. Why are you not working? Okay. Hold. Give me a second. Maybe this... So this does work like that. Okay. Well... So I need another way to charge the phone. What the fuck just disconnected? Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, I was doing fine for a bit, and I don't know. There's a lot I have to worry about for the next couple days. Not necessarily money-wise, but just shit-wise. And I'm good on food, so, you know. Had myself some ramen. I have a shit ton of ramen. Do have some fish though, I need to cook that. But yeah. Oop, I don't know if you heard like that bumping. Hopefully not. Okay. I'm gonna exit out of that. Okay. Oh. That's not really very useful. Ugh, okay. That's played enough. God, I need to. I really want to redo City Living. Because I listen. I don't. If I try to like turn it on, I can just mute that, or I can just do that instead of, yeah. Because I try to add some reverb to make it sound better. I must have been like something, I don't know. I was off the shits. Okay, now it sounds fine. Yeah. I don't know, now I just have a bit of a headache. I'm not gonna cancel the stream. I don't know why, I don't know, but... We're gonna keep at it, but... Might be a little less high energy, I don't know. Going to the corner stream would be insane. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go to the title card. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Yep. Yeah, that's good for basically anything. Like if you can't donate yourself for anything, getting the word out is nice. Especially honestly at some point I really do want to like go more into like just general stuff, like general streams and whatnot instead of the Sketch-A-Thons. Oh. I'm gonna try to post in this Discord. I don't have permission to send. Oh, well. Never mind. Never mind. That's not good. Hello. Hey, Millie. I was wondering if when Bleat got done with his stream, because he seemed to not be streaming, or he doesn't seem to be streaming at the moment. I don't think. Actually, let me check. He might be. Yeah, no. I know he was streaming before. Oh yeah, because he just wondered. Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. But yeah. Honestly, there's a Discord I'm in with a bunch of VTubers, which don't ever call me a VTuber for the love of God. But it's I might end up leaving it. I don't know. It's like the thing is that I like IRL know like the main person in charge of that server. So that's a bit of weirdness there, and then like also just it picked up the freaking like me. I might keep that on my lap. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see about like staying there. I just don't engage with them all that often, is the thing. Aside from like stream advertisements and whatnot, which is like, what way is that like to like community with like people? I'm gonna pretend like, oh, there's not a verb for that. There is a verb for that. Anyway, we're gonna get to the we're gonna go ahead and get to wait, do I have? Okay, let me go to studio mode. There's a verb for that. Oh, I do have to call verb. All right, let's empty the queue because I forgot to take out the fox verb from last time. Okay, yeah, but everything's set up properly, so that's good. But yeah, now. Well, I'd say even smoother. It's even longer. I changed it to 5 seconds. So yeah, Sketch-A-Thon baby, personal fundraising edition 5.0. Yeah, so standard rules apply. It's $10 a sketch. Usually if you do multiple characters, it's usually $5 extra per sketch. That's usually how I go about it. No, not safe for work or objectionable content. No making me draw like swastikas or something. And then just let's all chill. Let's all be nice and chill. Let's not be like disrespectful or anything. Hopefully I won't have to, you know. I say as if like, don't be disrespectful when that's never been a fucking problem in the past. Maybe some base ass assumptions there. Yeah. And hopefully that remains not a problem in the future. As the audience will grow, which it should grow over time as I keep doing these. But yeah, hopefully that's a rule that we all can still continue to abide by. Because if not, there will be crime and punishment by Dostoevsky. I don't know what's the name of the guy who wrote Crime and Punishment. Um. Oh. Oh. Well. Thank you for the $10. I was also like not loud and like surprising as hell. That's cool. Let me open up Streamlabs because I just saw that go by. I hate that they sunsetted the version 2.0 of the Streamlabs thing. I hate that so much. Like the big problem for me isn't necessarily that like, oh, I missed so many of like the cool new features that it had. It was more just the fact that like I had to like completely redo settings and whatnot for shit, and it was just it's so dumb, so fucking dumb. Ooh, oh, that'd be cute. Dostoevsky. Is that really his name or is that a bit? Okay. 30, 3,000, and then 4,200. Because that's the one thing that I honestly want to like save that somewhere, like save it as a custom thing, just because it's Dostoevsky. What a name. I had dinner. I had dinner recently. Okay. Oh yeah, this is green. Why did I have it as green? Why are you green? Oh. Ah, you're green. Okay. Don't be green. Be another color. Unless Millie you want it in like this like lime green. Unless it's like a preference of yours. I shouldn't need to change the pen. Eraser, snap erase. Yeah, snap erasers. Or actually needed eraser, but with like, oh yeah, that needs to be opacity big. That needs to be big opacity. That's his name, all. Dostoevsky. I don't want to say it sounds fake because, as it turns out, I'm not Russian. But yeah. So, Nelly Clap in a nurse outfit. We're gonna make that a little smaller. Head too big. Too many thoughts. Hot head. Let's say I'm almost thinking like the thing with like flicking the syringe. Why did I forget what it was called? Oh yeah, how what kind of nurse outfit are we talking about here? The thoughts a lot of my head, kid. Yeah, what kind of a oh I should say that. Zero baby, zero brain. Oh, it's only been running for 18 minutes, so I will. You know what I ought to do? Would be kind of fun. I should do. I've never played. I got Among Us like a while back, and I've never played it. It would be kind of funny, and probably funny in the worst possible way to do public matches of Among Us. That would be hell, but that as much as that would be hell, that would be fun to also do. Just to sort of like speculate and do shit on my own. Because I do want to play the game, but I don't want to play it with like two other people. But yeah, that'll be something that I like put on the docket for the future maybe. Because the game seems like fun, but I've always enjoyed like mafia style games. My first my first introduction to any sort of mafia style game, I was in fifth grade, and it was called Pirates. No, actually, I was in fourth grade. I was in fourth grade. I remember my teacher's name. Her name was Mrs. Banks. And sometimes during recess, what we would do is instead of doing that, or instead of doing recess, we would do pirates, which is basically just mafia. I had the dumb idea of like, hey, because I was also big in like choose your own adventure shit. And I was like, hey, I wanted to write like a choose adventure version of that. That sounded really interesting. Um, but how the hell would you turn that into like a choose? I mean, you could, but the problem is, it's like it's complicated. Alright, we're gonna... But yeah, that was my very first exposure to any sort of Mafia-style game. Let me see. Oh, is this about the outfit? Hopefully it is. Also, I love that YouTube's rolling out its own, like, Patreon-esque shit. And people are saying, like, oh, well, it's fine because, like, YouTube is, or, like, Patreon is, like, or like, targeting, like, not safe for work accounts. And it's like, I honestly have to wonder if you think that your not safe for work account is going to be safe with, like, YouTube shit. Like, they don't, like, you're not even you're not even allowed to post porn on the platform. I don't know why you would expect, like, I don't know. It's really weird logic there. I keep forgetting what fucking Flaffy looks like. I don't know. Okay, I need to make the head bigger. More thunks in the head. Head can have little of thunks as a treat. And also just because sometimes the head doesn't look right and it needs more thunks. Yeah, that's the secret to art. Sometimes more thunks is good. See, like, um, Virgil and Leonardo, they had low thunks, very low thunks. Their art is very bad. Um, the guy who made the ready-mades, Armat or whoever. I know that's not his real name, but I'm just gonna call him Armat because I mean, why not? I don't go by my real name on here. Why would I? Anyway, but yeah, fucking fucking the ready-mades, heavy thunks, big thunks for the heavy mades. Piss Christ, that's the largest. That's the largest thunks right there. Is Piss Christ. It's honestly funny that, like, Republicans try to cancel that guy, like it's a sacrilegious thing despite the fact that he was like a devout Catholic. It's very funny. Also, I feel like this arm needs to be lower. Go low. Oh, okay. I will. I will look at that. Oh, all right. I can do that. Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, you're not wrong. Um. Hmm. Oh yeah. Fucking. I was about to close Discord. Here, let's move you over here, just so you're not, like, getting in the way. Da, 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 bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna get copyright stricken because I'm singing a song. Wah, 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 wah. God, could you? It's it it. I'm reminded a little bit of the freaking There was this thing that I think Adam Neely covered where he post or like he talked about a cover that like a cover of a Weird Fishes that like sounded so close to it got like copyright stricken by the tubes. Yeah, I will fetch that image right quick. Oh, well, okay. I guess not. I'll have to keep it. Is there Any it, I need to okay. Can I just copy the Oh my god. Whatever. I can remember what that looks like. I can remember it. It's fine. The infrastructure will collapse. That's the only words that I know. Forget about your house of cards and I'll do mine. Forget about your house of cards and I'll do mine. You fall off the table. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish I knew more words to that. Yeah, Tom York is what we call a mumbler in the field. I mean that simultaneously in the least disparaging and most disparaging way imaginable. Like, imagine simultaneously that I'm saying that as if like I'm just his like I'm his buddy or something, like I'm a drinking power, like one of the Greenwood brothers, or I'm his worst enemy, and that's like the worst insult like throw it. Not even Tom. The hat does look a little weird. I can, yeah. I think with the I think that it'll look fine with just the fluff. I think. Also, we got another reason to do this range because vaccines and COVID. It's that good shit. See, I'm always like a little sus of like the political opinions of my roommates. There's always an off chance that they are like it's a college town. Like the generally you're going to find like well-meaning liberals is like the base of pretty much any college town. And of course it's changing. It is changing over the years though. I would say like I definitely radicalized a lot in college. But yeah, like my yeah, like the opinions of like my roommates can be fun. It's always fun to like try to ascertain them as well. I don't I don't ever want to fucking ask, but you know, I need to. That's what a syringe looks like. It's like the my memory sometimes can be like one of those images where it's like simulating having a stroke. Like I just you can't remember the most basic things, and it feels like you have to out your mind every time. Also, wow, I would have earned $100 from this. I'm trying to remember how much it was. I'm trying to think how much I ended up donating to the bail fund back when I did that. That was a while ago. That was back in October, I think. Because it was 100. It ultimately came out to be $150 from the crowdsourced donations, and then I paid 20% of that, which was I think around 30. We do what we must because we can. Yeah, it's gonna be strange. The point where like I'm gonna get like I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. I'm just like bouncing back and forth between topics. I keep looking back to see if like people have like chatted anything else, and it's still like still on like we're still talking about like Tom York or well that was the last post that was made. Like Tom York is not unfortunately all the buzz in the chat. I do want to listen to more Radiohead though at some point because I very much enjoyed In Rainbows. I feel like everybody and their mother is gonna want me to like listen to like OK Computer all the way at some point, but I didn't. It's the songs on OK Computer aren't unappealing. It's just I don't know. It's strange. I also listened to some of Amnesiac at some point. I think maybe I got halfway through or up to like Knives Out or something. Yum Torque. Really making. I need to thin in. I need to thin in the rims of this. The rims are too thick. I'm trying to be consistent with how I drew her last time. Is the thing. The way that secrets always dress, they will never want to know that they're around. Comes leading in. Comes. Extra thick rims. Oh shit. I could have her being like boy and like looking all at the camera and shit, but I'm outfit can be just like you know the outfit can be the outfit. This Millie Flap is hard at work. I almost want to do like the tongue sticking out to the side, like that sort of shit. Okay, yeah. Oh shit. Forgot to make this tiny, tiny, tiny. Honestly, what would be kind of fun to do is just another thing is just like a bullshit request stream. Just like stream of consciousness bullshit. That would be fun. Like still in the same vibe as art, but I'm not like forcing people to like give me their money. Or well, like that's not part of the format. That's not like an explicit thing. Like maybe I should say like I'm forcing people to give me their money. Like that's not a great way of saying it because it's like people support me because they want to support me, not because it's like oh I'm putting a gun to their head saying give me $10. Give me $10 of your hard-earned wages so that I may do some work as well for you, which you would appreciate. They care about you. And you all care about me. Oh shit. Which is good because I don't know where I'd be if y'all didn't. That'd be very strange. Like like just imagine developing businesses with like your entire Twitch audience to where they would still do that despite the fact that they I'm sorry for bringing in like Homestuck to this, but that's the only way that I could describe like the thought process that I was having for the moment. Like, just imagine that though, like cultivating an audience of sheer hate to where like they would support you regardless. Actually, well, I guess one way of potentially doing that is like, actually no, that I would say like getting canceled, but no, that would really work because they still like you, they just don't like you for the right reasons. Like the right wing bums who would like buy your shit because it's like, ah, we're supporting, that getting canceled for fun and profit. That's like half of Twitter posts ever. Just the most uproarious, outrageous shit that's like meant to stir the shit. I care you. Oh, well, thank you. Big hair. Hair is very big. I want to make it maybe a little bit smaller. We can't have too big head, and we can't have too big hair. We have to. We're pulling some containment here. We're gonna call it SCP and Doctor Gears and all them. I remember when I wasn't really a whole lot into SCP. I liked reading some of the stuff, and I thought that was interesting. I especially loved like the joke articles. Those were like a hoot half the time. Well, half the time it was dumb bullshit. Half the time they were a fucking hoot. But it was it was never something I was like super seriously into as like this obsession, the same way that some of the other shit that I was into. Like I was into Undertale. I was absolutely into Undertale, and I was not into SCP like the same way I was into shit like that. Or even Panzer Dragoon, which was also something that I only like SCP, you can just access it on the fly. It's free. Panzer Dragoon, those are very hard to get video games. Um, they're notoriously hard to get, and yet I could definitely say more seriously I was more seriously a fan of Panzer Dragoon than I was with SCP. And it's not that I didn't like it per se. It's just that there were aspects to like other series that like caught my attention more. And like Panzer Dragoon was one of them with the whole like just this super fucking interesting. I think that's mainly the thing that got me hooked on Panzer Dragoon in the first place was just the setting and like all the different like it was I would say it was an inspiration for like Cradle, like my constructed setting in the sense that it was what am I trying to say? It was an inspiration in the sense that like I could envision myself like doing shit like that. Just like going balls to the walls nuts. Like trying to not necessarily doing strange shit for the sake of being strange, but going like all out in terms of aesthetic, like just going out doing your own shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I will say SCP-1 is still like an incredibly cool concept, and that would be like if that was the only piece of SCP fiction ever out there, that would be like I mean it probably would have to be like more refined than just like a bunch of internet bros like typing shit up like is like for a giggle, but SCP-1, that whole idea of like there being potentially multiple SCP-1s or like there being multiple SCP-1s, like, and then one of them is real, and they're trying to obfuscate which one it is. That's that's honestly a really freaking interesting concept. Yes, I was talking about. So back in the day in high school, I was mildly into SCP in terms of I would sort of read like the website and see like I wasn't super into it, but I was into it enough to sort of keep up with it for a while. But I was talking about like if SCP-1 came out as like a piece of like sci-fi fiction, I swear to God it would be a classic because like that the concept is so ripe with potential, and I do think that even like on SCP they take it some very interesting places. Like especially the one where they imply that like the foundation itself is SCP-1, in the sense of like they have, well, and not necessarily the foundation itself, but they have like this device that can like reset a timeline or something like back to a particular point in case of like a mass outbreak of the SCPs, and it's implied that it's happened like more than once. Just really, really, really cool stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else was I like mildly into. There were I can it's funny. I can probably remember things that I was mildly into. What would be something like I guess in terms of like a franchise? I'm looking at it. I guess as much as I feel like having like I feel like saying that for like single entities or trying to define that for single entities feels a little unfair. Like as opposed to like a franchise or like an established like thing. Like SCP, like there's so much content for it. But it's like I was gonna say like, oh, I feel like I'm mildly into Terraria. Like the thing is that like it's not so omnipresent or there's not like a rabbit hole that you can dive into is the thing. So and even then that feels a little strange because I very much enjoy my time with Terraria, but it's very much like a singular thing. Like it would like if I were to say something like, "Oh, I'm mildly into 2D Minecraft likes," you know, what first bit with the well, so yeah, there's mods and shit. Like there's a lot that you can do with Terraria, but at the same time, the mods don't particularly interest me because I think it's bullshit power creep half the time. Like it's which I mean that's gonna happen with like any mod. Like look at fucking Mugen and that sort of like rabbit hole of bullshit that that descended into fucking. I still I still cannot believe that I happen to know, and Callie, you also happen to know, or oh my god, Molly, what in the main? See the the power creep in the main game is fine because like I'm meaning power creep in the sense of like that's the only thing that mods seem to want do. Like, yeah, power creep exists in the main game, but it's also an RPG where you're supposed to get like exuberantly strong by the end of it. It's like Disgaea, but if you put the feeling like Minecraft, which probably sells like Disgaea incredibly fucking short. But yeah, fucking IC, Iron Commando, fucking set off a goddamn like arms race with the A bomb, from what I'm aware. Like he was a Mugen boy. I haven't interacted with that man in fucking years. I remember when I was like, hey, what if I fucking composed your RPG? Because he had one of those planned, and it was like, hey, could I do like the soundtrack for this? Oh my god, is this microphone busted? It's yeah, God. Honestly, I need to fucking nuke the published work shit that I have on TV tropes. I need to fucking nuke that. So fucking embarrassing. How would you? Apparently, I don't know how flicking works. Oh my god. Mute what? I need to find a way to say like, hey, the two unpublished works that I posted on TV tropes like a way long time ago. Get rid of those. I was 14 and not well. Yeah, the Darth Wiki things. Flicking? You don't know what flicking is? When you it's when you hopefully that's a bit. Would it be possible to just delete them on your own time? In what in what context? What do you mean what in context with flicking? Like flicking with your fingers. But yeah, delete them on my own time. So yeah, I'm the author of that page in the sense that I like made that, but at the same time it's like I don't know if it's as simple as just like deleting the page outright. I think you might need to like contact people. I thought it was an audio thing. Oh. Oh, flicking a syringe has a I never knew that actually. That's so that's cool, and number two, that's definitely necessary because wow, imagine getting injected with fucking air. Um that shit hurt. It doesn't sound like it does, but I absolutely know that shit hurt. I need to God. This side view this side view is not helping matters. Yeah, that's what we're talking about flicking. Yeah, flicking the syringe. Yeah. I mean, I there is some stuff like the problem is that especially with my old like the old username that I used to go by for a lot of my stuff, and I still do. I'm not getting rid of my Fur Affinity. I'm not exchanging that for like another account. If they let you rename your account, I will take that option. But I'm not getting rid of my fucking account just because I want a name change. That's the dumbest bullshit. But Like, there's a lot of stuff that I have associated on there that I'm not very proud of, or it's just cringe as hell. Want to become famous? Yeah, I don't know. There is such a deluge of like embarrassing bullshit on my end, to where it's like, honestly, if I could have like a clean start, I would just say like, hey, everything. It's like one of those like sci-fi, like, oh, you get a blank slate, you're like, you're all your crimes and shit are just completely expunged and whatnot. If I could do that and say, hey, put out like a start date to that, I would fucking do that. There's also some, God, also like being on fucking Derpy Brew. Derpy Brew was just the worst to me. Absolute fucking worst. Never go on Derpy Brew, kids. Never go on Derpy Brew. God, I need to delete shit off of there too, to be quite honest. Don't ever wanna know that they're around. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about things that aren't like embarrassing shit from like early. I was talking about things I'm mildly into. What's something that that I actually am mildly into that isn't just like a one-off thing? I guess like, and also something that I have decently interacted with. I want to say Smash Bros. To be honest, I want to say Smash Bros. I love Smash Bros, but at the same time, it's not like I don't cream over it like some people do. Or I guess now the common mood for Smash Bros is turned from creaming to pissing. Yeah, yeah. Smash Bros is cool. Like, oh, Smash Bros is neat in the sense of like what Sakurai's been doing with it in terms of like it being like a living museum for video games. I love that aspect about it. That's really cool. But I don't think, I don't know. There's just so many elements of that fan base that feel just absolutely unpleasable. And like there are some absolute grievances with like the way that Nintendo's been handling certain aspects of the franchise, but at the same time, um, good God, like so many hundreds, thousands of people need to shut the hell. Yeah, like I mean, if you build a career out of it, like that's kind of the investment right there. But if you don't even at least have that aspect to it, you can divert your energies to other things. So go be a fan of something that is, I guess maybe it. Go be FNAF fans. Go have fun with them in their little corner. Like say what you want about FNAF fans. They have fun. They have fun with their game. Honestly, that's the best. Getting that nice angle. Also, we gotta like. I don't think this is where you're supposed to flick it. I don't think you flick it like literally on the tip. You flick it like on the body of it. Honestly, what? I don't know. I don't know. Go clip it. Go clip what I was honestly wanting. Maybe I'll come back to it and get you a DM on that. But yeah, honestly, I'm also thinking back to like I'm thinking back to like the fucking the Weaver and all his shit. If I had like half the confidence that that guy does, but like fucking Weaver is like a shit like actually has like a shit ton of really good stories with like well written characters and whatnot and like good like decent plots and shit. Like he can do shit like that, and he also draws a ton of porn. Just a metric ass ton of it. Like that's living the dream right there. That's living the dream. Okay, and I need to draw the actual clothes because you did stipulate that. Actually, I'm wondering who's here right now. Porn can only be measured in ass tons. That's fair. That's very fair. Hi everybody. But yeah. But yeah, the Weaver has also been like a bit of an inspiration for me. Not necessarily like the what's it like just draws a metric ass ton of porn, but more in the sense of like the stories that he tells. I've wanted for the longest time I've wanted to do like a quest type thread, I've been toiling it around with like doing one for my cradle setting, like with in a particular setting for that. Um, I've been kicking that around I think since like maybe June of last year. Haven't gotten around to doing it because I set it up on MSPA Fan Adventures. Like I set up a comment box and everything, and I got like a test page out, and I sort of left it there. Because I knew like, all right, I'm not gonna get back to you eventually if I have time. But it's the same sort of vibe from like running a campaign, and of course the with the campaign that I am actually doing like a D&D campaign now. I put a lot of work into it, maybe too much work. Um, like it can honestly get to the point where I have to like delay specifically because none of the none of the shit that like it's less like story prep or even anything like that, and more just like I need to draw shit. But yeah, quest threads are cool. Um, they're neat. It's also neat when like you draw, people draw for them, and that's cool. Like I do remember I am honestly intrigued at because so a lot of the quest threads I think started on TG. Like they were specifically TG for some reason. I think even Ruby Quest was on TG and Nan Quest as well, which is very strange that was the case, but I mean, whatever. Um, or maybe it was on another board. I don't know. I might be getting that wrong. But a lot of the newer quest threads, you're not gonna find them on 4chan. You're gonna find them on TG-Chan. It's like basically designed for that. Like they actually have like it has somewhat of the same structure, but I think it actually like lets threads linger specifically for that reason because it's like something that you're gonna come back to and keep up with. And I need to bring up the TG-Chan, huh? Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, I remember I did a couple of posts on there because I was really into Dive Quest, which that was the current one that he was doing then, Weaver, I mean. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to get in on this. I want to because it was interesting stuff so far, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I mean, this was like back before. This was like 2017 that I was like into all that shit, or I was like looking into it at least. I understand that impulse completely. I think a lot of people just ended up migrating off of 4chan and their sister websites. I mean, a lot of people migrated off of 4chan to basically 4chan but worse, which that's always fun. Good old 2017. Yep. Is that? I think that is a pocket. It's actually good that it's on that side too. But yeah, that was. I also. Oh god, this was in May. This wasn't in May. What am I talking about? This was in May of that year. I actually did like a draw thread on B. I think that was like way back when. Like you could maybe troll around the archives and find it or something if you really fucking wanted to. I drew Nolly's ass. Yeah, that was way back when. And honestly, at that point, that was probably like the end of it because like basically after that year, I was like, wow, this 4chan shit cringe as hell. Yeah. Also, yeah, the format of 4chan I really don't like either. It's as a as much as I say, oh, all the shit that I did like back then is cringe. Um, I appreciate things being like there for people to look at and see. And I honestly like the whole like anonymity thing. It breeds a certain I don't know. It. I say it can. It does, and it did, and it will continue to breed a certain kind of asshole who makes them easy prey and targets for other assholes, as it turns out, as we've seen within the past, what, fucking 5 years? God. Oh, wait, I'm a dumbass. Hopefully the Red Cross doesn't sue me. Actually, I'm going to. You're going to be a back flap. You're going to be a back flap. And that's just gonna look weird. Because it's like you have like almost like a trail of fabric. Oh, wait, there's the pocket. Yeah. And then, can't forget this smile. Oh, shit. I do remember there's also prequel as well, which I haven't kept up with that for like a long time. As long as the cross isn't red, they can't say shit. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Fortunately, the cross isn't red, it's black and white, baby! Also, I was honestly convinced for just the briefest moment that Kaverick on Twitter and the fucking guy who does Kazarel, that's his name. Kazarel is the guy who does prequel. I was gonna say that's a very, very sharp change in art style right there. From Kaverick Kazarel. I think that's his name, Kazarel. Prequel. He's the guy who did prequel. Oh my fucking god. But yeah, he did prequel. It's I think yeah, it is called prequel. It's literally a prequel to Oblivion, starring it's Katie Katia Mag Katia Madigan. Her name is. It's about her fucked up and failing all the time. It's a feel good triumphant story about a cat who fucks up and fails all the time. Yep. Yeah, I haven't kept up with prequel like for literal years now. I I'm intrigued now to see like if I go back to it. Yeah. It's prequel was neat. It's I think I still would. I would want to do my own one of those though. I I also had the thought of like if I ever do one of those quest threads, I would also include like roll to dodge shit. Yeah, yeah. Like there was a whole ass Flash game, which like that's some like Homestuck ass shit. Oh god, that looks bad. I may recolor this. I'm sorry. That doesn't look great. But yeah, like they had a whole like he had a whole ass Flash game in it, which is like nuts. But also, I can't do that on my iPad, Kazarad or Kazarad. I can't fucking download Puffin on my school goddamn iPad to do this shit. What the fuck are you fooling? What the fuck are you doing? Can't do that shit to me. It does. And I was gonna say, like, I want to do like roll to dodge shit if I ever do a quest, because as neat as it is, like rewarding people's dumbassery with equal dumbassery in the thing, it can also be fun to just leave it to chance and say, okay, what happens? Because roll to dodge is a cool system. And I loved the roll to dodge threads on TV tropes, especially Kathari's threads. Hers were hers were really fucking good. Like she got like deep in the shit with it. It was amazing. I got a kobold with like riding a raptor at one point. But yeah, her shit was a lot of fun. And when she had to step, she so there was I also think she was the well, I'm trying to remember who it was. Lime Kid. Lime Kid was trying to make like a continuing story out of it, which that was a bad idea. Or it's probably it wasn't a good idea. Like it was always better in terms of like managing random like personal bullshit instead of like trying to coordinate like an entire story around it. You shouldn't do that. But and then I remember it was like the German guy I think who soured me immediately because he thought the kobolds were like actual like Germanic like mythology kobolds instead of the little lizard dudes that I love. Which if you want to immediately sour me, like it was, and that was all like a funny misunderstanding too. I don't mean like any like ill will towards him. It was just like really funny though, because I was imagining something like totally different. Yeah, he also just didn't have like the greatest grasp on English, which unfortunately, on a website where most of the people speaks English and that has its servers in America, that's gonna get you places. Um, or specifically, that's not gonna get you places if you don't speak a lot of great English. Oh wait, shit. We're gonna add a little bit of tail papers off. Forgot his no, it wasn't Sergey. There was a couple of German troopers. The one that I remember the most was Blackie. Just Blackie. That was his name. Like that's the one that I remember. I think he was in the arena a lot. God, the fucking arena. It's I want to use that more just because like it's always like a nostalgia risk going back to that. Like the arena was hype as fuck, and I want to say there was some of the magic lost when it became like much more serialized. Because I do remember, like, I thought it was neat, like, having a little bit of continuity between the peoples. And then there was people who took that, like, to crazy extremes. Yep. Yep, it's a very awkward username. Okay, oh, I need to color the tips. The tips of the things. But yeah, the arena was cool. I hate to sound like a fucking curmudgeon about it, but I guess there was a bit of a magic lost when things started to become like really, really consequential in the sense that like it really felt like you would miss shit if you weren't in there for like long enough, or if you weren't in there for like a decent amount of time. And that's what happened to me. Because I gave up TV tropes for Lent for 1 year when I was somebody who still like decided to follow Lent. I don't even know why I did. Like I wasn't even a believer then. I'm still not now, but you know. It's just one of those things that happens when you're in a family, or no, ears, horns, who knows, who cares? When you're a good whittle. See, I got off that train fucking early. I got off that train fucking early. For me, the big issue wasn't like any existential bullshit or whatever, or like any of that shit. It was the fact that they didn't have dinosaurs in the Bible. I learned a lot about dinosaurs, and I was like, dinosaurs are cool as hell. And I was like, there's no dinosaurs in the Bible. That's bullshit. This isn't real. Yeah, I am like I'm pretty sure there was a point where I had like a more edgy atheist phase, but I would say like the that's never been like an I don't know what to say. That was if there were the case, that would be like more than a blip than anything. Though I do there was some shit that I like said, and especially the big shit for like dumbass atheists is always Islam, and there's definitely shit that I've said it's like eh. But yeah, it's always good to be understanding of people if you don't even if you don't necessarily understand them. Like I don't honestly I just do not really have like a religious impulse. Like as much as I can understand why people are drawn to it, it's not necessarily something that I like really get myself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the thing that like dumbass atheists always end up like spilling their shit over. It's like it's not necessarily something that I like deeply truly regret, even though I mean yeah I do. But at the same time it's like it's such a dumb like common thing, and I hate that it's like so dumb and common that that's the thing. Maybe I'm just saying that like I'm probably wording that in like a very not great way, but you know I'm trying to hit that cancel any percent speed run anyway, so we gotta pump those numbers up. These are rookie numbers here. Yeah. I don't know, reflecting on like old like shit like that. It's always fun, but it's always not fun. For all the awkward wording and mic cutting. I wish I see if I don't know where like the mic cutting that may actually be really loud. I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, like I don't know if that's like on my end or like strictly on your end. I don't know if like others are cutting off for that. If others could say that, then maybe I'll try and do something to rectify that. Because I would if like if there's something to where it's like, you know, if like shit like that in terms of I don't want to say user experience, but that's the only word that I could think. Like or audience experience, I suppose. Like if there's anything that I can do to mitigate that, then I will try. Oh God, yeah. Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, that's fine. Yeah, honest, like I don't know that sort of shit. It. There's a sort of moral luck surrounding that kind of shit, but it's like it's hard to escape something that is so like omnipresent as that. Yeah. Yes. Bear in mind, I was in fourth fucking grade when that happened. Like the fact that giant dragonflies were a fucking thing blew my goddamn gourd off. It was nuts. Like it personally, it wasn't even like the dinosaurs were neat. That didn't necessarily interest me in the same way that like all the shit from like the I think the Permian the Prese the Prezozoic I think is what it's called, the Prezozoic. I will look that up. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it. Oh, that is not what I'm talking about. Paleozoic. The Paleozoic. Okay. That's it. Yeah, Paleozoic. The shit in the Paleozoic, that's what really got me into that sort of shit. Like those were some very fucking interesting times. Those were some very interesting times. And there was a decent amount of books that I had in my library about that and it was oh my god, it was amazing. If there was anything that could have driven me into paleontology, it probably would have been like Paleozoic shit. Like there is some honestly cool shit about the Paleozoic that like a lot of people are just sleeping on because there's no cool dinosaurs. Which like that makes sense because literally it is easier to find dinosaurs. Literally easier because you don't have to dig as far than it is to find Paleozoic fossils. And of course, a lot of them aren't as impressive because that was when life was really getting started. And most of it was pretty small. But even still, like there's some cool shit. There's some like cool Paleozoic shit that people sleep on. And even still, like especially like the fucking even like the feathered dinosaurs too. That's so cool to me. I want to pet I want to pet a velociraptor so bad. I want people to clone velociraptors so that I can pet one and hopefully not get my fingers bitten off. I escaped one of my thumbs being bit off by like not an thankfully not an alligator snapping turtle, but a snapping turtle nonetheless. It hurt like hell, and I was like 10. But hopefully, if they clone velociraptors and they do that, then one won't bite my fucking finger like that. Because I'll be very mad. Yeah. And I think this was after they explicitly told us not to put your fingers in their mouth. So I was a dumbass and did not listen. And I think I even ended up having to stay with like one of the camp counselors because of that. Because they were like, "Oh, you didn't listen, you didn't do shit." God, I'm trying to think. There was some really harebrained shit I got away with in my youth. I just remember this the other day. Um, so like a dumbass, one time when okay, there was like this is like perfect storm of shit. I ended up I ended up getting suspended from the YMCA for like a couple days for slapping a kid in the face over capture the flag, which I still stand by. I don't understand like what the fuck was with whatever bullshit that guy was pulling there. It was like a Daniel Craig looking motherfucker too. Yeah, my art career would have been ruined. I think it was. I'm trying to remember if it was my right thumb or my left thumb, but still. But so, like a dumbass, as my dad was picking up my sister from the Y, I burnt. I took out the goddamn like cigarette lighter and burned it on my finger, and it burned and it hurt like hell. And I like quickly took it off. So most of this was just surrounding the fact that I didn't want people to think that I was a total fucking dumbass and was like, "Oh, herder, I put a I put a what's it on my finger out of curiosity." Yeah. So line number one, I told my friends I got this burn. Oh, I burned my stove. I burned it on my stove making mac and cheese because I was the mac and cheese guy at my house. We get Kraft mac and cheese, and I would make it for myself, and it'd be real good because it was easy, but also like Kraft mac and cheese, baby. Hell yes. Um, so that was like the cool story that I told to my friends, like, "Hi, yeah, I burnt my finger on it." Um, but I didn't want to implicate I didn't want to implicate my parents in that sort of shit. So whenever and also just think like that lie wouldn't work if I ever told my parents that. So what I ended up doing was I said, "Oh, I burnt it on the Bunsen burner in lab. I burnt it on the Bunsen burner in my lab." And that ended up leading to a whole ass fucking talking to. That ended up leading to a whole ass talking to from my science teacher about how I should report any burns that I get in the lab, which there was a it was a very interesting turn of events because I was definitely affected by that in the sense of like, oh Lord, he's yelling at me, I shouldn't do what he's talking about. But also, I didn't do the thing that he was telling me not to do because I lied twice about where the burn came from like a dumbass. Oh shit, what the fuck? Come on. Is it? Oh. Oh, that's the eraser. I'm a dumbass. Another so another harebrained scheme that I cannot remember if I ended up pulling this off or not. I don't think I did. So yeah, yeah, it was nuts. So what had happened was, we had like oobleck and shit at the Y, and I think I ended up dropping like there was this big old campfire, and I ended up dropping it, and I ended up like dropping mine and getting like dirt in it and shit. And it was like I was bummed about that. So I looked around and I saw like, oh, um, there's a bunch of like just a bunch of bags of fucking oobleck around. Um, and so I literally stole another kid's oobleck. It just so happened that the kid who I stole it from was my fucking sister. So she ended up like crying about that because like, oh, somebody stole her oobleck, like it's gone, I don't know where it is, and was like, I know, I'll give her back. the oops I got a stole from her pretending that it's mine. I'm trying to remember if that like actually worked or not. I don't know if it did. It might have, it might not have. But suffice to say, shit was yes. Unfortunately, unfortunately it's that's an incredibly hard like habit to like keep down, especially if you're a dumbass people pleaser like me who wants to say, "Oh, everything's going well, everything's going fine." Like with shit like that, I mean, with shit like that, it's like, it's, well, I would say it's a fun story to tell, but it's also like it was like also like affecting moments that I just bamboozled my fucking way into like a dumbass. But I believe the word you're looking for is indeed child. But anyway, like if it can be the point where you continue that pattern of behavior well past like where it's like you know stories that you can talk about like this like after years and years, and that's never fun. But like I guess the thing is like sometimes like that's what parents teach you more than anything. For a lot of kids, you're never actually taught like how to do shit or how to like behave in certain circumstances. You're just taught never to get caught, which is the thing. And that's the sort of shit that like you know I don't know. I'm trying to like actually like color this decently. Okay, like, trying to make it like light is the thing. You don't want it looking like super. It was like especially like heavy marks. Like when you're trying to do something like it just looks bad. It just looks very bad. Like that's something that I've learned with like pencil as well. Like you really have to learn to be gingerly. Okay, I think I'm done with this at least. Oh my god, my fucking back. All right, I'm going to save this. Oh, I need to save this first. But yeah, this went like deep into fucking bowels, man. This went like deep into shit. And maybe I should have like backed off after a while, but as long as y'all are having okay, bowels. Oh yeah, I need to crop it as well. I don't want to give you like a full ass fucking canvas. That would be silly. Um oh, that's a little uneven. Oh no, we're gonna have to fix that a little. We're gonna have to fucking fix that a little. Okay, we're just gonna merge these two layers so I don't have to erase two layers at the same time. It's right there. Okay. Get a little bit of that stripe action there. Just a hint, just a tap. But yeah, can't think of vowels without yeah. But yeah, it's the sort of like people talk about this for like all the time. Like it's one of the shit where it's like I don't know. It's the sort of listicle shit that you come up with that you find on like fucking like Twitter half the time. But also it's like as it turns out, yes, this severely affected for the detriment or for the worse a bunch of fucking kids. And like it's even hard to say sometimes whether or not like it's necessarily like the fault of the parent is the thing. Which I don't like in the sense that they were like it's like it not that it's the kid's fault either, but it's like an unhappy accident that, you know, you end up cultivating like these sorts of attitudes within your children. And like that's the sort of that like that's honestly one of the most like terrifying things about parenting. Deep within the bowels of Dingo Channel. You're welcome. Okay. Well, mm, well hopefully y'all are having fun in here. I guess as much fun as I can have when I'm discussing armchair child psychology. Do I have? Oh, these are all just doodles. Oh, I should draw. You know what I should draw? I should draw. Oh, wait. What the hell is this layer then? Oh, I see. Okay. Environment. That's good. Yeah, as I say, less chill. Sometimes you can just say to me, like, maybe back off a little. Like, I'm giving all the privilege for this. Let's chill. Having a gay old time. That's good. Like, if like, but yeah, sincerely, if shit gets too much to where that like you're not comfortable or like you're bummed out or anything, you can tap the sign. I plugged you around a bit more. That's well, thank you. Anyway, I'm just gonna doodle. But yeah, any any support is good support for the like financial or like just sharing it around. But yeah, I wiped out Tomato Town, all 10 of them. God, I'm just gonna say like that song. It's that whole like meme. It's so charming. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's the sort of like shit that you would find on like cringe compilations. Like oh look at the 12-year-old who's actively engaging in the consumer mindset, probably before their minds are ready. But yeah, like that song. It's just intensely charming. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I keep forgetting how to draw a Phineas's head. As it turns out, it's literally just Dolly, but with fur, but with hair. Oh, I was gonna have it do like the atomic breath shit. As it turns out, there's a very functional reason to having one of your characters being a literal clone of another. I only associate it with like oh I can see that. Oh my god, I can imagine fucking God. Oh my god, it's just really cute. Like imagining that. Oh my god, blessed visuals. Thank you. Need to like need to open that mouth wider. These are fucking rookie numbers. Rookie angles. Obtuse or bust. Come on, we're talking like level Tokyo kind of shit here. Come on, man. I don't mean that in a positive way. Oh. Well, that's rude. Like, do you not like Morgana like as a character? I mean, I've never played Persona 5, so I wouldn't fucking like know tip to tail about like any sort of shit. His characterization? That kind of sucks. Morgana seems neat. Oh my god. it it automated you for lady and spare, which is like Coochie is right there. Also, holy shit, still 0 trap frames. I'm impressed. Not for Coochie? Okay, yes, that time for Coochie. Oh my god. Yeah, it said add permitted term, and I don't get automata this time. Well, yeah, because no, I put add permitted term. So when I allowed it allowed that in. So you can say Gucci all you like. Shit, how to something I'm never ever gonna fucking get. I swear to God, is a lower jaw, like of a snoot. I may be cringe, but I am free. Yeah, cringe is good. Embrace the cringe, except for me. Oh my God. I feel like Persona needs to take a chill pill with like some of their protagonists being like weird and pervy, or some of their like main characters. I mean, or even I don't would it best to be would it be best to be to like call it pervy, or is it just like weirdly like I don't know? Because like I said, I haven't played Persona 5. All I know is the Twitter account. It super needs to take a chill pill. Yeah, I see. All I know is the Twitter account that like embarrasses itself totally with absolute cringe like on a daily basis because it's an account run by like total buffoons who either are just doing like a really funny joke or are just absolute like cringe lords. And I do mean cringe in not a reclaimed way, I shall say. The Phantom Thieves account. I hate that exists, and I hate that like they take it so goddamn fucking seriously. It's like some. Oh my god, I need to like start over on this fucking mouth. Somebody send me money to spare me from this jaw hell. Actually, what if I just did, and then see? Yeah, just sort of get a little brow action. Hell yeah. We're gonna do everything else but the jaw, especially the lower jaw. Lower jaws are hard. I say that while speaking with my talk sprite that was able to like manage it fucking like flawlessly. Honestly, like the one thing I'd probably change is like the bobbing of like the weird errant pixel like where the nose is supposed to be. That's like coming up into the like, where the eyes are. That's like the one thing I'd fucking change. Also, goddamn, I need to fucking stream Marathon again at some point. I made that fucking talk sprite for Marathon, and I used it only once. I should keep using it. Wait, actually, I wonder if I could like switch to it right quick. Uh, use the horizontal. Yep. Yep. Oh, let me find it real quick. I'm sure I have it. Oh yeah, I have it in Here, let me switch to it. I also have the normal GIF too, so I can switch back to that. Control V. Just so I can show that off because it's fun. Control C. Control V. Okay. Give it a moment. Hey! Look at that! Look at this shit! Ain't this cool? Okay, yeah, I did take out the yeah. But yeah, I need to use this more because this is neat. I love it. Like as neat as it could have been to do like the fucking the SO Nolly design that I did, that probably wasn't gonna work for like half the appeal of that design is in like everything that you couldn't capture within like a bust. So anyway, I'm gonna switch back. This is a really cool design. I would have like put that on somebody just like completely independent of the series because it's neat. It's cool. Paste. Okay. It should go back to normal now. Yep. Okay. There we are. Yay! Excuse me. Oh. Oh my god, lizard. Okay. Uh, Twitch. Let me see users in chat. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not super like I'm not super bummed about that. I do got a little bit of income coming in. A little bit of income. That's good. Yeah, I was thankfully like the one expense that I like really yeah, Discord is killed. But yeah, um the one expense that I really needed for coming up was the one for gas because I have to I gotta go get my wisdom teeth taken out on the 15th. So I need to go back to my home. Need to go back, head back down south. And then I need to come back up again after spring break. Okay, this is looking a little better. Looking a little better than before. Can't forget the box size. Can't forget the box size. Everyone always forgets the box size except for me because yeah. I'm still in. God, the airdrop frames. It's nuts. Honestly, I don't think I would be able to like have a decent like high quality stream if it weren't for fucking Clip Studio Paint. Because goddamn, this shit is like efficient as hell. Photoshop chugs like fucking crazy. It's like especially if you're streaming, it's nuts. And of course, Discord streams are also very iffy, which is weird because like I don't know, PSP is it's very good. There's just a lot of like the only thing that I kind of I kind of like in terms of like actual photo manipulation, Photoshop is definitely the better alternative. But even then, you get shit like GIMP, which just like do a bunch of crazy shit. Fuck me. Yeah, that's another thing about Clip Studio Paint. You have to open it through like another app, which is like, it's not bad. It's just awkward. I really wish like I could just like cut out the middleman and just be like, hey, without like just literally opening like a file. Actually, I'm just gonna come on, pin. Oh yeah. Um. Oh yeah. I also forgot about like the fucking the somehow managed to get Firefox off of my um. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Let me use the pencil. Let me fucking use the pencil. Oh my god. There you are. Thank you. But yeah, the arc of somehow Firefox ended up off of my taskbar and I having to open it up through search, which was a very fun arc. Um, I went through a lot of character development then. I realized that applications that I use a lot need to be on the taskbar because it's very fucking annoying to have to fetch them. I think it was specifically because of an update. Because it was like, oh, we're gonna update to a new version of Firefox, and it's like, cool. It's like we're gonna uninstall it, and it's like, oh, we're also gonna get rid of all your logins, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So we're gonna pull the tongue down a little. We don't want it to get singed in the with the atomic breath. We're gonna do like that. We're actually drawing more than just the face. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. We're at the peak of performance here. No, you do. Oh my god. Of course you do. Of course you pull that fucking stunt as soon as it's like, oh, we're on the good shit. Fucking hell. Another thing that I wish Clip Studio Paint wouldn't do. It's that. It just like I don't know, I just tap it the wrong way and it's like, oh, you want to make the window smaller. Let's do that. And it's like, no, Clip Studio Paint, no, don't. You draws a little Konomo collar. I'm trying to think fucking two very punk ass characters that I've drawn. Actually three, because there's fucking Gorf. So I need to draw more of Gorf. I haven't touched Gorf in a fucking while. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what would be good streams? Because I know. I was trying to think, like, what did I. Oh, yeah. Okay, the first marathon was for. No, the first marathon was for the three Taito shooters, and the second marathon was for the cave shooters. I might do a Metal Slug marathon at some point. Like, I might just. Well, actually, okay. I remember why I couldn't do it before. It was because Metal Slug 1 wasn't working. So either I need to find a way for Metal Slug 1 to work, or I just need to abandon that. That would be cool to do at some point, though. I really want to do that. Because Metal Slug's just fun. I could. What would be fun for that is going through probably Metal Slug X with just like random bullshit like cheats, like trying to get through it with with whatever weapon like people recommend for me. That would be a little funny. That would be a little funny. Like doing like an all mummy run or something, shit like that. It would be funny. Oh, I was gonna say it's not letting me see the user. It wasn't letting me see the users in chat for a while. I was like, who else still here? Like Twitch, let me see. The heck's up? God, I'm just thinking back to the fucking the quote unquote archaeology actually geology stream that Germa did like it was a few days ago actually, which God, time flies. Time fucking no, it was last Friday. It was a week ago. Almost a week ago. I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm not here. This isn't happening. That was like one of the songs that I liked or one of the ones that I've actually listened to off of Kid A. That and also Everything's in Its Right Place, which that one's a little annoying. It's weird. It's weird to call it annoying, but I kind of get that vibe from it. Mostly somebody said, "Oh my god, yeah, fucking yeah, we'll just put on fucking Yakuza." God, that was so fucking good. Oh wait, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be like yeah, like that. He's got a fucking like caveman with button look almost. Punk fucking caveman. We're gonna go sideways. We'll say one fucking Pokemon that I'm kidding. Yeah, I might go back to that one as well. Um, How to Disappear Completely was really good. I remember really liking that one. But that was the only one. Like I said, that was the only one on the record that I listened to and like liked, relatively speaking. Shit. I think it's also like that one's also in like a different time signature, and I don't think they particularly handle it properly. Like it ends up sounding like really awkward and stilted more than anything else, which is not something that you want to get out of a time signature. It's supposed to liven shit up and have fun, or sound like neat and cool. Um, it's not supposed to like sound like perfunctory or like I don't know. It's strange. So we're gonna one victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite. We about to get down. Honestly, I feel like if Finnis would play Fortnite. Actually, no. A Finnis would be a diehard for PUBG. Well, yeah. I feel like if Finnis would be like a diehard for PUBG, like he'd be like one of the two people who was still playing that game. I'm gonna I'm gonna draw him like melting a fucking sword. Yeah. Yeah. Donations are still open. If you want to donate, still $10. And if you either either if you don't feel like you can donate $10, you can just donate however much you feel comfortable with, or if you don't feel comfortable with donating anything, that's fine. You can just trade around. That is okay too. Yeah, I do want to get more into Radiohead, but I feel like the only one where it's like I've actually enjoyed like the whole album was in Rainbows. I think I mentioned this before actually. I don't know, it's strange. I've been wanting to also like listen more to like I was listening to like a decent amount of Ween last year, or like I think up through like October or so, because I was like, oh, that's cool. But getting back to it, it's not bad. It's just they have a very particular vibe to their songs, and sometimes I am just not in the mood for the vibe that they give with their songs. They have a very, very particular, very experimental, often to the point of feeling like they're they're very playfully experimental, which I would say definitely lends itself well to being ending up as the credits theme, or ending up like with making the credits theme for like a kids movie. So I'm really, yeah. I will say, fucking, I thought like a Tally Hall song was like Ween for some reason, and listening to that full song that like I thought was like a Ween song, it's like, oh my god, it's I was kind of right to think, oh, this sounds like Ween. It sounds like Ween, but it's pretentious as hell, and I hate it. Oh, honestly, I'm over the phase of like only like like right about like this super deep, and by deep, um like it's it's deep in the sense to where it's like sciency bullshit or like weird philosophy and whatnot, and it's like you don't have to be like, I don't know, I don't know, it's strange. Winder sounds like, yeah, that's the thing, like they're not taking it super seriously, and it feels like Tally Hall takes it like way too seriously. I don't know, like there's very few instances in which like pitch shifted vocals doesn't sound anything but silly. Tally Hall tries. They try. It's like it's funny because I talk about like, oh, like I'm so over the thing with like people like, or like bands just like making like writing dumb shit about like these esoteric topics or whatever. Gentle Giant does that too, but they also just kind of have like the idea of Wayne where it's like we're just fucking around. Like that's not like all of their songs. Like they can follow like a decently like melancholic or song or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it's me just showing favoritism. Also, I find it really fucking funny. There was like a bunch of Gentle Giant fans who were absolutely fucking like certain that like Frank Zappa said like, oh, it was his favorite band ever of all time. Like, he said it was the greatest band ever, and that's like the hugest point of vindication ever. He never said that, but it's really fucking funny that they like got like a whole bunch of them got themselves into a tailspin saying like, oh yeah, Frank Zappa's like this was Frank Zappa's favorite band ever. Like you're never gonna. It was like he liked their stuff. Like it wasn't off base in the sense of like, oh, he hated them, like he thought they were like horrible and awful or whatever. But at the same time, it was like it was nowhere near like the whole like, oh, Frank Zappa thought it was like his favorite band. I just remember looking into that. It was very like, 'cause I was also sort of like getting a little into Frank Zappa at that time as well. Which I wanna Frank Zappa is just intimidating as an artist, and also it's the same thing of like he's just a total chuckle fuck. He happens to have classical training, and he's an amazing guitarist, but he's also a total chuckle fuck who just requires like the ability to keep up with his sheer chuckle fuckness. I don't know. It's just like it's the I feel like you can make like a fandom like a meme about like don't make fun of us like General Giant fans. Um, we take like we get validation from like pithy like preference comments from like other famous artists and whatnot. I think specifically also one of the things that Zappa mentioned was like how like as much as these were a bunch of doofuses having fun, there was some very like heated shit like backstage with Gentle Giant, which I always hate like hearing about that in terms of bands, especially bands that I like. It's like, oh, it's cool, you're all able to play together so effectively. Oh, what's that? Oh, they all hated each other. Oh, okay. Well, that's neat. That's cool. Melty Sword. Yeah, it's my favorite 2D fighter that I love to play in the bathroom of a Denny's. I love the fucking Melty Blood memes of like everybody's taking up convention space at Evo and the fucking Melty Blood fans are playing it in the goddamn bathroom. What console was Melty Blood for anyway? It was a it was on PS2. It's a PC. It came out on the story of Yes. Oh my god, yeah, fucking yes. Yes is nuts. Yes is fucking nuts. That whole god. Oh my god. They were bonded by hate. Literal Kissmasses. Literal fucking Kissmasses, all of them. Except for Bill Bruford, because he was like, fuck this, I'm quitting. I'm joining King Crimson where I get to be ruled by a goddamn dictator. Yeah, that's the thing. Yes is made up of bratty bottom, so all needed a top, and Bill was the only one who realized that. Is an awful way to put it. That's a horrible fucking way to put it. Just laying out the most cursed comparisons possible. I'm so very sorry. Oh my god. Fucking. And of course, this is the second time I brought up like fucking Kissmasses. Kissmasses is. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it. Kissmasses. Honestly, that whole like it's a very useful concept, even though the fact that like, fuck, that's already a thing. Still, it's just like it's too. It's also just like a really funny concept too. Like the fact that you just hate each other so fucking much that's just the bond that you share, and you're inseparable and all that shit. But Like the others are just like various stages. Like I think the other two, like the tail aspects, are just like various stages of um like one of them's literally just like akin to like just like, queer platonic shit. It feels like, and then the other's like Christmases with a twist, which I don't know. I, I feel like Hussey should have stopped at Christmases because the other two feel like fuckery. I don't know if perfunctory would be the right word for it, but I like saying perfunctory. Perfunctory is a fun word. It's in the name too. Fun. Perfunctory. Perfunctory. Like there's a horrible pun that you can make there, and I just made it. But yeah, home. I want to. I don't want to say Homestuck was something. I don't want to say Homestuck was just something I was mildly into because I was very much into Homestuck. It was a very strained relationship. Like there was, I was like bound by curiosity to that thing, but there was like definitely things with Homestuck that I just absolutely do not agree with from like a storytelling perspective. It is a hot fucking mess, and I feel like it was a hot fucking mess, and I feel like it should have had maybe 2 years of content at the most, and instead it ended up having. Well, I want to say seven, but it was more like 4 or 5. It's wrong to say that Homestuck was a waste of everyone's goddamn time, but holy shit, does it fucking feel like it? Oh shit, this is me. You're. I don't want to say Homestuck was something. Incredible. That'll be in the history books. That'll be what I'm quoted for ages. Oh fuck. I'm gonna abandon you. I don't like where you're going. Let's try another kobold. Let's try one that's not gonna work effectively. But yeah, like I was a lot of today I played around with booting Raspberry Pi Zero because it was oh my god. That's fucking incredible. Raspberry Pi sounds neat, but it I don't know, it's strange. It's I would love to be able to toy with one of those someday, but at the same time, like it I know it's supposed to be like entry level, like I feel like it's supposed to be entry level programming shit, or I honestly I don't even fucking know. Like I have expectations of what Raspberry Pi is supposed to be. I have no fucking clue what it's actually like. Like the closest that I've been to that sort of shit is fucking like Arduino boards. Arduino boards were fun to play around with. We made a fridge. We made a fridge with those. It wasn't a working fridge. It just spun stuff around. It was basically akin to like a smart fridge. Oh yeah, Raspberry Pis are like dirt cheap. You could get one for like $5, I think, which is good. Especially it's that's also really good for like Actually, I don't know if it might. Yeah, the zero is $5. Yeah, because like what I've been hearing is that like they've been sending those out to like developing countries in order to actually build like computer knowledge and stuff like that, which is really good. I think more people being able to participate in the fields that have dominated the fucking world and are going to be omnipresent even after this whole like collapse of capitalism. I think more people getting in on that is good because we're probably still going to need computers to manage shit. We're going to need to find ways to make like what we have more efficient. I know that much, but you know, figure Arduinos that can run Linux. Capitalism king. So I'm I guess this is me being like a basic ass computer science student who has barely gotten past like intro courses. I do not I have no fucking clue like what the appeal to Linux is. Not in the sense of like I don't like Linux. It's just that I literally don't fucking know. Like in terms of the way that I've used Linux, it is it has always been in the context of I pull something up in the terminal, I pull up a C file in Atom, and I run that C file in the terminal if it compiles correctly. That is my only experience with Linux. It's in terms of like everything else, it's pretty much like I don't know. Maybe it's more like memory efficient because there's still 80 gigs of system data on this fucking laptop, which is insane. And there's also like a shit ton of different versions of Linux too, which is cool from it's cool from the perspective of like, oh hey, people are like modding this and like or like adding features to it and whatnot and like, making it better for their particular setup. But it's also like choice paralysis. What the hell is actually good for my system? What do any of these things do? Like what's the point? It's very strange relationship. It's probably something that I'm gonna end up learning more about as I like sort of go into as I sort of go further into computer science. Like I would love to be able to learn about shit like that. There's a lot of stuff that can be said about customizability and security, but it really goes down the yeah. Ultimately, the appeal is less customizability and more security because like I'm if I think of like customizing a computer, I think maybe I build one someday. Not I'm going to literally customize the software specs or the BIOS specs of the computer. Not the BIOS, but you know what I mean. Like I don't really have the gumption to like, fuck around with the OS of a system to that degree where that I'm like another allergy about it's the computer and the Arduino in one. I see. Yeah, because I think that's another thing about Raspberry Pis is that they're incredibly interfaceable. That's probably not the right word for it, but it's in the sense of like, you can plug a lot of shit into it. It's 11:30. Yeah. But yeah, I might wrap up not right now, but sooner rather than later if there's no other donations coming in. Getting in those 10 was it's good. But yeah, there's no real practical. Yeah, honestly, just the whole it sounds incredibly dumb. Like it honestly does sound incredibly dumb to say this, but the whole idea of like switching out the OS of your system for something else feels like fucking Arcane to me. Like that sounds really dumb because it's like, it's just like switching out the it's just it's switching out files just the same as anything else. And presumably the idea is that like there's no or very little compatibility issues and all your shit. But then I guess that's the thing that kind of spooks me a little too, because it's like I feel like with that sort of shit, it almost is like there's a very clear chance that I could just literally brick my computer trying to do this, and that's scary. And I've had scares with computers before in the past, and that's been fun. So sort of shape my perception on it. I can't stand Windows. Yeah, I just God fucking uh, Windows is a security nightmare. I'm trying to understand computers, and it can feel very arcane as well. Honestly, I would love to learn assembly for like a lower level, not a lower level, but like a simpler system, because assembly sounds cool, and you get to do you get to do very zoomy shit with it. It's like it's the appeal that C has, but it's even more like esoteric and technical. It's cool shit. Like you're just doing shit with the actual bits themselves, which is neat. I give up on understanding computer law. Yeah, but yeah, like the fucking the store shit. Like if Windows was just a basic, if Windows was just like had no pretenses of being anything more than just like an OS, like you do shit with it, I would be totally fine with it. Fucking, I don't need the Windows Store or the fucking like the firewall or like all that shit or whatever. Like I don't need. Oh yeah, some goddamn reason Task Manager ended up being like it had like the computer said like, oh, your administrator like blocked you from using um Task Manager, which is like, what the fuck? I didn't set that shit at all. It was just like, oh yeah, you can't do it anymore. And it's like, why? And like my administrator is me. I am my administrator. I'm the owner of this computer. Also, yeah, how the fuck? I don't know. It might have been maybe some like fucking malware or something. I don't. But like that's the weirdest thing too. It's like I just don't know what the hell happened. To be quite honest, it was really strange. I found a way to like reverse it online, so like it wasn't much of an issue. But I literally had to go to the fucking half of these little boxes are also computer, and they're epoxied and explicitly made to work against you. No, not console commands. The fucking what's it called? Like you're literally changing like the underlying bits of the computer, like using like this, I guess using the graphical user interface somehow. And it's like I literally had to go into like that sort of shit and just like toggle a bit somewhere, or I think even just like delete the setting work too. Also, I'm gonna move this arm back because I have a problem with like putting arms in weird places to where they look stiff and awkward. Which I mean, I relate. I definitely put my arms in stiff and awkward places, but I don't project. I don't project that much into all my characters. Like, good lord. Thanks for the gold kind. Three digit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Register edit. Register edit. Yeah, or registry. I don't know what's called, but yeah, register edit. Yeah, I had to do shit like that. It's like it's just what it said online. Like, hey, yeah, you're gonna need to like go into the. It was nuts. That was really strange. sort of clothes should I give them? I'll be around for a bit. All right. Good night, y'all. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. It is possible to block people on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Twitch, but it's no. I think you're just gonna have to avoid them, unfortunately. Like the way blocking on Twitch works is that it's explicitly like, oh, they just can't post in your chat anymore. Like I think that's pretty much the only thing that it does. It doesn't prevent them from actually like, yeah. I'm kind of curious about who you're referring to, but I also like, I think I would rather not know. Oh, yeah, one funny little detail about Cradle is that the kobolds came up with kobolds were like main peeps when it comes to clothing. Oh, oh, God damn it! Honestly, I'm surprised that funny little face of his is still like roaming around. Oh yeah, Porter Robinson. He's supposed to be like a decent like electronic artist, or I guess I don't electronica, whatever. We're gonna do fucking meme strats with the clothing. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna. Oh my God. So I think it's yeah. Well, yeah. I guess like good shit doesn't like feel like negative in the same way that like sucker does. I don't know. It's strange. There is no good platform. No, all platforms are bad. Um, oh, fuck 16. Fuck 116. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the sorts of like the shittiness of early internet was just conducive with like the shittiness of real life. Like there is ways there's ways that you could um yeah None worse than the Yoku block. But yeah, like shit like that sometimes is just endemic of the culture in which it is born with. And so like you could have all like the same conditions of the internet and have it be in an infinitely kinder world, and you wouldn't get the same shit that you're seeing now, unfortunately. But I mean like also the features of the infinite kindly the features of the infinitely less kind world that we're in now, um like the shittiness of everybody in the early internet, and then just the boxedness of this, I guess, later stage of the internet. Unfortunately, those come from the same source, or I guess maybe fortunately in the sense of like getting rid of it, you know? Because I mean, it's you know, I feel like it's just like basic inter. This turned into intersectionality 101. As it turns out, capitalism needs systems of bigotry in order to prop itself up and justify itself. Who would have thunk it? Because there needs to be underclasses of people that you convince um everybody else who is of like the low class but not of these particular classes of people to get you like get you to gang up on, get you to say this is the source of all your problems. And of course nowadays a lot of capitalists are trying to target these quote like trying to target like those sorts of minority groups as a market, which I mean yay for being recognized and shit, but yeah, I mean it was only going like within the capitalist hellscape that the internet was birthed into, it was only going to be a matter of time before we came into what we have now. The fucking stranglehold that companies have on the internet in the modern day. Yep. I mean the dot com bubble, like it was just an the dot com bubble was just a failure of it to solidify the first time. It didn't mean that it was gonna happen the second time. It needed it needed time for things to like truly monopolize, and for technology to get to the point to where it's like there would be some like it's like shit like YouTube. That's a huge fucking service to be able to like host all like literally billions of minutes or billions of hours of content just like on their fucking servers. Like that's a goddamn service, and it's controlled by like an incredibly evil company. And like of course one of the other points of their evil is that like people talk about Google, it's like oh they're trying to censor with like censor, so they're one of the social justice ones, like that sort of thing. Fuck Google. But it's like it's the same shit that you see in a lot of companies where it's like it is performative support of minority groups but then a failure to actually support minority groups within their own fucking businesses. It's the same like because there's been a slew of like harassment cases against like within like Google that has gone like just completely unmanaged because it doesn't keep up a crisp company image. Yep. Like there was and it's funny like it was the same fucking like literally like two yeah, this is getting depressing. Literally 2 years before then there was like this outrage like by this conservative dude like working at Google who was like, "Oh, people are discriminating me for having um the conservative values that I have, blah 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 blah." And it's like I mean one can simply choose not to be a conservative asshole. You know, it's like from the same company, nonetheless. Like you have a case of like somebody who's feeling like totally persecuted and whatnot, and then people who are actually suffering because management isn't doing shit about it. It's nuts. Honestly, I'm jealous of the like I have delusions of grandeur. I could not match the delusion of that man. There is no absolute fucking way. To have like half of the persecution complex that like conservatives have, it's nuts. But yeah, on the note of capitalism being a total hellhole, um, if anybody wants to, I guess if there's any last minute donations coming in, I guess now's the time to make them because I'm probably going to be wrapping up the stream soon. And again, this and donations don't have to be $10. You just get a sketch if you put in $10 or more. But yeah, I should actually put it back on the title card. But yeah, it's okay. Can I get a Streamlabs link? It's in the about page on, or it's on the about page on my Twitch. It says like donate, unless you're on like mobile or something, in which case I might have to fetch that for you. Or I'm back. Hello. Oh, thank you, Millie. You did that last time too. But yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'm as much as like as it is depressing in the sense that it's like, Lord, what does our world come to? But like, I don't know. At the same time, like, I can only think of it as just like, I don't know. It's less like hope, or it's less like depressing for me, and more just like nuts that we've come to the point that we're at now. And honestly, like, it's just the notion that this isn't an inevitability. Like, none of this was an inevitability. Like, a lot of people want to think that it is, and of course it's convenient for the current system in place to say, oh, this is how it's always going to be, right? It was always going to lead up to this. No, we probably could have played our cards a little better and maybe even had some of the same shit that we would have, but living in a much more sustainable, much more friendly environment. And I think we should strive to create that sustainable, friendly environment. Now, I have a disagreements with a lot of people about how to make that sustainable, friendly environment, but we're gonna have to take that up like after we actually like deal with this thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to convince all the MLs that no, maybe making another like estate that'll inevitably like dissolve into imperialism and that shit again. Ooh, oh, thank you, Callie. Oh yeah, and were you wanting to get to sketch with that or no? Here, let me pull that up. But yeah, it's sure okay. Yeah, I don't know why the message did go by fast too. I need to look at that. I timed it with the music too. I'm gonna stake my heart coin. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. There's some reference to you in this Discord. Yeah. Honestly, I am trying to I don't know. like I will acknowledge that like oh yes I can do that. I don't know. I will acknowledge. I don't want to make this now a talk about MLs because that'll just be the pettiest, hilariously most unproductive shit. I swear to, it's like I don't know. It's oh I love it. It's such a good picture. But yeah, like I just do not vibe with MLs. I don't think there's anything that's gonna like I will I don't know. I will accept some of like the pushback that they have like done against, um what's it just complete like total bullshit and whatnot, but I'm not going to pretend that like the oh Marxist Leninist. And I guess like I don't know, it's strange. And personally the thing for me is that like what I'm particularly uncertain of in terms of what MLs are after is like what is their plan to ensure that what they're building doesn't backslide or it doesn't just settle for like a compromise position? Because like the Soviet Union and China both backslid immensely. I mean, they weren't in great positions to start. Like, like you like authoritarianism just really isn't a great position to start, quite frankly. But like both of those like backslid immensely. Like Russia is just like a conservative hellhole now. And then like you have Vietnam and Cuba who are actually capable of, handling like social policies and whatnot. And they're arguably more successful at it than like social democratic nations, but at the same time it's like they're not that far off from that either. Like it is still mostly like I don't know. It's like that's the thing for me is it's like, how are you going to ensure that these structures don't collapse in on them? How do you ensure that, how do you ensure that these structures are able to actually foster like a tenable future? Like besides because like what's been successful is decentralization. What's been successful is allowing people autonomy to be able to do things rather than trying to build up and bolster systems and trying to streamline things. That's what's ultimately been successful is the thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it because I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is getting to like weird esoteric like anarchist bullshit, and I would like as fun as it is to try to like educate people about it. I feel like this is the sort of point where it's just like petty like leftist squabbling, which I don't know if everybody's here for that. I thought people were here for drawing, not this sort of shit. Oh, I'm also wondering if um you can still hear like me scratching on the thing. I will say it's funny for the tower. I was also considering putting in like an Orthus character, maybe to learn art through observation. I'm here to vibe. Yeah, like I said, tap the sign if you need. So yeah, and I don't know. I guess the thing is, it's that like people talk about I don't know. And I guess then I mentioned like these like I don't know. It's hard to like try to articulate what I mean by like I'm saying when it comes to like how are we how am I going to know that these like structures don't inevitably backslide into what we were trying to avoid in the first place without it sounding oh the tower that was like the hangmanish video game that I made like a while back that I'm gonna try to expand on in the future whenever I can. Um, Honestly, I think as soon as I get done with the independent study for now, I'm going to shelve that for a bit and get back to the tower. Because that's something that I'm kind of interested more in doing. But it's hard to it's hard to try to articulate it and not sound it's just like oh well socialism's bad because it inevitably fell to capitalism. Like it's not that, and I don't want it to be that, and I really don't want it to like sound like that because it makes me sound like a dumbass. Like because that's the sort of thing that's like that's not even a critique. Like that doesn't actually address the like the underlying structure of things. It's just like a it's it's the Cold War ideological tentpole still going strong. Like that's what that argument is more than anything else. It's not an actual. I guess more than anything, what I want is assurance that like this will stick. And personally, I think yes, we do need to have measures in place to keep capitalism at bay. I just don't think that I personally don't think that what keeps those structures at bay is centralization. I do not think that. I do not think it ultimately works. I think either what ends up happening is um, either you just centralize capitalism or you end up just alleviating capitalism and just slap a whole bunch of welfare programs on it, which it seems to be the course that we're taking right now for developed countries, which is again better than what it is, but at the same time, it's not great. I need to actually pull up your references. I'm gonna fetch them from Discord. Where did you post? Oh, post it up there. Hello. Or this. Like personally, like if if like if a single country only existed in the world and that country was on like an island that just nothing else affected it, like I would maybe be more fine with implementing. Oh, oh, okay, I see. I would be like if there was no other impact to social democracy than like the just in that one nation, I would maybe be a little bit better. I would maybe like it a little bit more as a potential solution for all this. But no, we live in a world where our actions have consequences across the globe, or rather the actions that the system takes or that we take within the system has consequences all across the globe. And it's like unfortunately, those consequences make it hard for me to just go, oh yeah, we can fix things in one country and everything will be fine. Like no, honestly, like that. Honestly, like the idea of just like we fix capitalism within one country, or we just alleviate capitalism with one country, like especially with fucking climate change on the horizon, it's not just like unappealing; it is frankly irresponsible. Frankly, fucking irresponsible. It's and I get why people go. It's less about like, oh, what should we do, and like what can we do? What can we do in this present? Like, I get the impulse for why people are like, oh, come on. Is this? Oh, I see the problem. Wait, what fuck? Oh, I need to fuse all these layers. Let's do that. I'm not making this very fun hours, aren't I? I'm making this. I should probably take a chill pill a little. I don't know. These are the things that I get to thinking about in terms of like what what needs to be done to be able to like alleviate our circumstance, like truly alleviate it, not just like put a band-aid over it. And it's gonna take work. And I would rather and I want to try to put in that work when I can. But I don't know, it's strange. It's strange of having this impression of, what might be the and honestly, I don't know if like what I think might be just like a bit of a depressing reality is if like that's ultimately what people accept. Like if the system of capitalism is like ends up being inescapable because people are all right with having it exist, but having it be like just bearable enough because of like welfare and shit that they can just get by with it still going. Like, like that's depressing, but especially that is depressing to me. Like that is ultimately depressing, but like that might just end up being how this goes. Which, come what may, come what fucking may. Well, hopefully the come what may isn't like fascist dictatorship or anything. Like I can squabble with MLs all I like. I'm not gonna fucking like I'm not gonna throw I'm not gonna throw like quotes at fucking fascists. I'm throwing fists. I'm throwing punches. Yeah, these are the sorts of things that I get to thinking about when it's like when I'm alone with my thoughts for an extended period of time. Like it's car thoughts, it's shower thoughts. It just becomes a new day. Yep. No, it probably won't be gone in our lifetimes. Unfortunately, um, as much as like that would be nice. That would be really nice. Like, and see, I guess the thing is that like I know like people identifying as socialist is becoming more popular. And mostly what it just ends up being is like social democrat basically saying, hey, let's bring more welfare into um, let's bring more welfare into these, which is, like a lot of European countries are like, oh well, we're already on board with that sort of shit, and then they always have these like ultra conservative elements who happen to also really like the fact that they had a bunch of empires back in the day, and they would really like to keep that up. So yeah, we have to, we have to work to make positive change now. And if I don't want to say compromising, but if like because it's like we have to do what we can now to also like mitigate stuff. So we have to we throw money at bail funds. We make GoFundMe's for people. We pass around the same $20, that sort of shit. We join mutual aid stuff. We um, join the IWW if we can. We try to set up like union shit and whatnot. Like unionism, like unions aren't the ultimate goal. Like we're not just gonna have like a bunch of like workers co-ops run by unions like at the end of time or whatever. But it's a stepping stone, and it's important that we have like worker. It's important that we have leverage within these systems of power that control our lives. It's important that we have that leverage. I would love to have that leverage, um, and I would love like other workers within. I would love other workers within my within like my workplaces be able to also have that leverage as well. Yeah, and like honestly, the fact that like for me, the $15 minimum wage isn't a compromise strictly because it's like, oh, people deserve more. For me, it's just like you don't need money. There's no reason to have like there's no reason that we have to make like you know that we have to try to assign this arbitrarily like monetary value that's really only going to end up being beneficial for those in power who are able to set those prices. Like that's my take on it. That's why that's why $15 an hour is a compromise. Like like we shouldn't need wages is the thing for me. Like honestly, like any any society whose end goal is like or who doesn't have like phasing out money as their end goal, um, it's it's just not going to work out. At least in my eyes, at least I don't know. Maybe they can find some sustainable way to do it, but I've yet to see a way. I mean, I know like the Zapatistas, they deal with money, but like they've it's funny seeing like more quote unquote hardline lefties try to like criticize them as if it's like they're they're as much as it's like oh they could go harder with stuff like that. Like there comes a certain point. Did I just hear your voice interlap with itself? I might have been I might have just been stuttering. I don't know. Maybe it was like a voice overlap. But it's like I'm not going to fault I'm not going to fault the Zapatistas for adhering to some like ideological standard. I will uphold the Zapatistas as like a an actual like example like application of like anarchism in the world. Like I am going to uphold it as that. I'm not going to treat it as like the end all be all of some like random esoteric anarchist theory that I'm pretty sure like barely half of them have read and half of them really care about, because it turns out they're not referencing those theorists. They're referencing the way that they've lived within like they've referenced the way they're more or less referencing the way that they've lived within like their own societies, their own like land and places, whatever, for the like thousands of years. I train. So we're gonna thicken up the necks a little. But yeah, that's and of course what's funny is that like you have oh, hello. My oh yeah, that probably would be good. That probably would be good. But yeah, that's I don't know. I think that's ultimately the thing is that like there's it's not necessarily that like socialism has been like a normal per se, but like at least in the sense that we understand it. But it's that we've been dealing with structures similar to it or we've been working with structures similar to it for like thousands of years. Because it turns out it's hard to justify money when the sole thing that you need to do is survive. Like if you have fucking time on your hands that you're able to sit down and say, you know, like, oh, wealth, what to do, that's when maybe that comes in. And even then, it doesn't necessarily come in then, because you can still have relatively complex societies without, you know, where you rely on each other basically just through good graces. I don't know. That's ultimately the thing for me. Like I understand how and why money came to be, but it just might not really be all that great. I think something I remembered earlier. It's funny, like so there's I had the thought of like putting or not the thought, but it's like sort of a joke where it's like you put something out on like the street or it's like a bunch of flyers or something, and you write like on the flyer you write blank is theft, and you basically say, okay, people come in, write what you think should be on the thing and place it in the ticker. And I was just thinking like there are two very popular quotes that basically take that same more format of blank is theft. One is based as hell and the other is kind of iffy. Or at least it attracts a very specific crowd, which I would rather not want to be around. Because there's taxation is theft, which is all the libertarians and whatnot, which is the the people who are like so into capitalism. It's like, oh, we should have capitalism do everything, but you know, I mean, it's probably not like the most accurate representation of their values, but to be quite blunt, I don't know about giving libertarians the time of day. But um, and then there's also property is theft, which yeah, actually, okay, yeah, they both have glasses. Okay. On an unrelated note, it was I've been getting into his name is Jason Molina. I've been getting into some of his stuff, and it took me a bit to sort of realize that at least maybe for an extended period of time, he might have had a bit of a woman issue in terms of like I don't know. It's I don't know if I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he's just trying to channel like negative experiences that he's had in the past. But at the same time, it can also sometimes it can help but feel like a little like that way sometimes. Some of the stuff that he says about which that's not really that fun. But I do like it's not like all of his output to where it's like oh it's not like fucking Weezer or like Pinkerton I suppose would probably be the more because like Weezer doesn't just sing about like the woes of the fairer sex. I mean they made like an I feel like Pork and Beans is probably not about that. I would hope not. For a song called Pork and Beans, I don't know how you would tie that in, but what have you. But yeah. It's I don't it can be strange. It can be really strange like really thinking about some songs and then going like, that's honestly like so another song where I absolutely do not think it's a reflection on the artist. All right, good night, y'all, or good night, Elfie. But yeah, another one that's very strange to me is "Down by the River" by Neil Young. I do not think like Neil Young actually like went down by a river and like murdered his girlfriend or something, or like it's strange. Apparently, according to Young, like the song could be about like a lover like finding out like, oh, you're cheating on me, I'm gonna pew pew you. Like I guess it's like I guess it's like before he cheats, but after she cheats, and also she dies. Um, okay, but yeah, that I don't. Just thinking about that song, like it's a fun it's a good song. I like it, but that's just very strange to me that it's like that's a very prominent part of the chorus is down by the river. I shot my baby. Like, but it also could just be like, oh, she's blowing you, which I mean, cool. It's better than the alternative. It makes you look less like a total nut. Oh yeah, that hmm. Thinking about the reanimated video of Frontier Psychiatrist. That was really cool. I would highly recommend anybody who has the YouTubes to go and look at it. He was also Stonish. Oh yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I can't help but take things like that like kind of literally, just because it's like it just sort of jumps out at you. It's like oh, like as much as much as I like believe him in the sense like yeah that could be a valid interpretation of the song, and I wouldn't fault anybody from thinking that. I still can't think this song's kind of about a dude who just shoots a girl, and that's a little weird. I don't know. It's I'm honestly like not. I wouldn't say I'm honestly the best at like that sort of critical analysis. It's hard to Like, more often than not, what ends up happening is it's like a bunch of blues and rock music. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't help sometimes, but it's like I know I'm not the best at like critical analysis. As much as I want to like, I want to try to like actually like be able to do it because it. I mean, it doesn't seem useful in terms of like I don't think I'm gonna end up being like a one of those like bargain bin video essayists who's like saying the most like basic shit on YouTube as if it's like some sort of like revelation or whatever. Like going like, oh, the 2001: A Space Odyssey is about the enlightenment of humanity, and the what you call it, the bone becomes a thing, which is the humanity come and evolving. Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes. At the same time, I do wanna personally get better at it just because like that's a useful skill to have to be able to like critically analyze work and like deduce symbols and whatnot. And I know it sounds like oh I'm being like putting myself down and stuff like that. I sincerely I do like I am aware enough of my abilities like a lot of YouTubers, a lot of like YouTubers who style themselves as like video essayists and like media analysts and whatnot, they are in the valley of the Dunning-Kruger effect. I am on the other side of the Dunning-Kruger effect. I know that I don't know anything, and I also am aware that I don't have the skill to even like be confident enough to just say, oh yeah, I can critically analyze this work with the same sort of like charisma that other people are able to do it. I don't know. Maybe it's something I ought to try and see. Oh, maybe I'm better at this than I thought, but I don't know. I can as much as like being a bargain bin YouTube analyst can be fun. Honestly, it's I guess the thing that kind of scares me off from that is just like there's a lot of people who aren't great at it and maybe shouldn't. And like it's a popular format and I get why people do it. It's because it lets you get out opinions in a succinct manner. It's can be relatively easy to edit compared to like higher concept stuff, unless you're like ContraPoints or Philosophy Tube, in which case like you're sourcing like props and everything for it because you're extra and sometimes like that's the whole point of the video is just props, 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 props. But I don't know, it's and of course there's people whose main whole careers about being like a silly YouTube analyst like Mahler. That's why I just yeah. So they were flirting with Twitter was flirting with the idea of putting an undo button on text, which or on text on tweets, which it's like and a couple of people were saying this too that it's actually a really good idea and like specifically it's an undo button with a timer, so it's maybe like 5 seconds like until you like recall a post. Like you can still delete it and come back later to it, but basically it's like you can fix typos maybe. Well, see the thing is that like what I would want Twitter to be able to do is to be able to just immediately show your tweet when you put it out. I need a timer of like a week. Well, Well, I mean, you can still delete it later on. Honestly, though, what's infuriating is when what is actually goddamn infuriating. Why do deleted tweets keep coming up on my timeline? That's what I want to know. Why do this keep coming up on my timeline? I want them to stop. Because it's the most annoying thing that I try to like something and it ends up being deleted, and it's like, it's very strange. It's very, very strange that Twitter keeps letting that happen. Where it's like, oh, you can just, you can still like this deleted tweet, which is like, why is that on my timeline in the first place? That's what I want to know personally. More than anything else, why is that still on my timeline? If it's truly something that like the person regretted or was like, like I swear to God, some people just like delete tweets on principle. It's like after a while it's like, I did like I think I've maybe only ever deleted like one tweet, honestly. Oh, uh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they should like thicken up the arms a little. They're looking a little gangly compared to the rest of the body. That'll work. Yeah, like that, like that. Yeah, it's honestly like I vibe. I feel like I vibe with Twitter more than most people. And I mentioned this before. It's like it's especially the format is a challenge. The format feels like a challenge to me, and my brain runs against challenges like, oh yes, 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 yes. I love it. I don't know. Deleting tweets has never really been that much of an impulse for me. So that's I guess that's kind of why I'm not really like I don't know. I mean, most of it is just like fucking I don't know. I guess it's just like I don't put a whole lot of stock into um I don't know, it's strange. It's just it's for me Twitter is a bin. I throw things into Twitter. Sometimes I get sometimes people like sometimes there's like a raccoon in the dumpster that like just throws it back and somehow the raccoon's like, hell yeah, I love this trash, thumbs up, and it's like cool. I'm frightened though that a raccoon is able to do this right in front of me. That it apparently liked my trash and it decided to throw it out of the. It's I don't know. And I mean that as like sometimes I just like post random shit, like literally just like you know, like barely even a shower thought. That's like yeah. And sometimes you just gotta do shit with the expectation that like it's complete nonsense, and maybe that's a little okay. Maybe that's just my perspective on it. What's a raccoon doing? I'm using it as a metaphor for like how I interface with Twitter because I guess I am brain my brain is rotten enough to where that like Twitter I can vibe with it more than most people, I feel. And honestly, it's not even in the sense of like, oh, I just get it caught up in all like the vitriol of it. It's just more in the sense of like I appreciate the sort of flow of Twitter. Like I appreciate more what it's wanting to do. I just wish there was just less bullshit surrounding it. I feel like Twitter could be decent if not for the fact that it's well it's Twitter and it's also run by a giant company who doesn't care about you or your well-being outside of how much money you can make from them. So I wanna make this hand look not lazy, but at the same time, it's like, what am I to do? Wrist, back of the hand, um, maybe it flattens off, like right there. Maybe that's it. That's about as. It still looks good. It still looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the one problem that I kind of have with it is like it's I will say one thing that's kind of bad for Twitter is that it is if you have a if it's very easy to try to foster like a parasocial relationship because um I don't know, it's the like there's no differentiation between like there's not as much differentiation between like a poppy twit and just like a random like there's like yeah verified tweets they may be able to like post like 3 minute like videos and whatnot but like that's the only advantage that they have maybe like you like everybody still likes and retweets and replies and all that sort of stuff everybody operates on the same system which I guess in a perfect world that would be like the great equalizer but unfortunately that just means like and I'm aware of certain like parasocial relationships that I know like okay maybe I should back off a little like that's the sort of thing for me it's just like I notice shit that I'm doing and it's like okay maybe I ought to stop because this it's not it's not unhealthy right now but it can potentially become unhealthy and I want to avoid that as much as possible. We're going to move that over so it doesn't like this doesn't get in the way. um and that's thank you and that's and unfortunately, this is part of the design of Twitter. Like, you would have to just fundamentally change the platform. And I feel like you wouldn't necessarily make things worse in terms of like fostering a parasocial relationship. You would indeed make things worse in terms of like making people like more insecure about how they are in the platform. Because one of the funniest things about like Twitter is that there is like the verified thing, but everybody hates fucking verified users like with a fucking passion and it's brilliant and amazing like there is not like maybe okay maybe some verified users have said some intelligent things at some point like there was Jabuki like the only good things that verified accounts have ever done is the shit that makes them eventually lose their verified status. Because it's always really funny. It's always really fucking funny and I love it. Like I think one of the ones was also the Italian Elon Musk one, which is just chef's kiss, amazing. But yeah, it's I don't like that's like with YouTubers, it's like okay, you have people who are mostly primarily interested in like watching videos, and then you have people who are like, okay, I will like they might like most of these people like they might upload like a video or two on their platform if they need be and maybe just for like future reference for something like oh hey like I have a school project or hey like I just want to show like this photo album of my family or something like shit like that. Then you have actual people who are like okay I'm trying to make this a career I'm trying to actually make videos and shit and like do stuff and whatnot like there is a divide with YouTube that's sort of that does kind of foster this sort of like competitive and sometimes even like depression inducing like shit about it. Because I remember Big Joe made a video about like he called it small YouTube culture, and it's this sort of like how that sort of relationship of like, oh, I want to make it big, I want to be like, like up there with like T Series and PewDiePie and whatnot, like that sort of shit, and like how like destructive and toxic that can end up being, and what sort of attitude that ends up fostering. With Twitter, you sort of get shit like that, but like there's no like there's less of a divide, and also just like again, verified tweets, verified accounts, nobody respects them for good reason. Yes. Oh my god, incredible. I still cannot believe that like we have actual evidence nowadays that like Malcolm X, like his death was like orchestrated by the FBI. Like that's just nuts. Like that was a I don't want to say credible conspiracy theory in the sense that like there was a super huge amount of evidence floating around for it, but in the sense that like yeah, that probably happened. But like the whole that whole bombshell dropping was just like nuts when that came out. That was maybe like a couple weeks ago, I think. Like that I that was absolutely during Black History Month, which like either from your perspective, that is either the best time for that news to drop or the absolute worst. But yeah, I will say if I was a God, if I was a fucking like I don't know, I'll drop that thought. I don't know. If I was anybody different from who I am, which is probably a better way of phrasing that, what I was gonna say. If I was any different from who I am right now, I feel like I would Twitter would be like a nightmare horror place for me. I mean, it's been just a nightmare horror place for a lot of people. So honestly, I completely understand people's just complete dumbfoundedness and just complete like fuck this is awful, like that attitude with the platform. I absolutely understand it. Yep, shit is indeed wild. Like, ugh. And then you get the petty shit like the Dream SMP keeps taking up like the trending tabs, which is like goodness gracious. Like I did kind of like it when like the Wayner fandom had like their time in the spotlight with the fucking like white man lost in Texas. That shit was so fucking funny. But honestly, like even if like even if like the Wayne Radio TV like their that sort of fandom was like bigger than it was, I would really not. I would rather not like all of that get trending or like every single like little dumb shit like anyone in that crew does. Uh, I just God, I don't think Dream knows how to handle. I don't think Dream knows how to handle the audience that he has. I really don't think he does. I don't think he. I don't think he doesn't like deserve it or anything, but at the same time, it's like you are making a lot of very dumb choices when it comes to because to be honest, like having a fan base, you have to keep them on a bit of a leash. You don't want to be like just you don't want to be like a fucking control freak, but you have to set boundaries. You have to be like, okay, maybe this is where I put my foot down. This is where I say, like, you have to. I don't know. It's because I think that Dream is feeding his fans worst impulses, and I think that's going to end up leading to shit later on down the line. Well, I'm glad that you like it. I'm sorry that I'm talking about Dream while I'm doing this. I should probably not. And then like I do remember like people got in a tiffy over him like cheating and speedrunning, which yeah, he did that. He absolutely fucking did that. I've cooled off about that a little as well. I'm less like uber super mad at him about that and more mad about like, again, I think he's mishandling his fan base. But I don't know. I guess the thing with the Dream is that like it's not it's not technically malicious in the same way that like fucking like Pro Jared was. Like it's not malicious, it's misguided in a way that again, like I said, will probably lead to something like fucking up majorly down the line. And I'd I'd rather him have a come to Jesus moment about all this than for it to blow up in his face like later on. Because his content is enjoyable. I can see why people like gravitate towards him. Like not necessarily like the SMP stuff. I think that's just like overwrought and dumb. Like it's fucking like, oh, you're just taking this like way too like it feels like I don't want to say they're like taking it way too seriously, but it feels like the fan base is taking it way too seriously. And it's like, my goodness. I would rather not hear about the SMP for all of time, but like the Manhunt stuff. I was in on the fucking Manhunt stuff. That shit was cool. Yeah. Oh my god, he's only 20. Holy shit. But yeah, he's pretty much he blew up because of the Minecraft manhunts, which they're just really fucking neat videos. I'm not gonna like if I were to gush about anything about Dream, I'm just gonna say the manhunt videos are cool as hell. Honestly, a lot of people accused it's funny, a lot of people like started accusing him more of scripting them. Um Here, I'm gonna go ahead and be asked. It's two S's, right, for Beelzebub? I should probably have typed that in chat instead. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. I will save it as that then. Hopefully I didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't save anything else as that. Cool. But yeah, as I was saying, getting back on topic. Um, the so a lot of people started getting like a lot of like there was already talk of like the manhunts being scripted, but after like the whole cheating scandal came out, there was like, yeah, he's totally scripting them. But like, I don't think that he was. Is the thing. I know there were certain like strategies that he had fetched from Reddit that he wanted to use, but I honestly don't think that he scripted them because it's like, and I think it has to do with the assumption specifically of why people would cheat in speedruns. And it's something that like other speedrunners have talked about as well because like I follow some of the content within the community some, though it's like Bismuth and Carl Jobs and like summoning salt and all that sort of stuff. But it's the like there is a multitude of reasons why like people end up cheating in speedruns. It's not just necessarily a matter of, um like it can come from like a deeper place than just like, oh, I want to hog the leaderboards and all this sort of shit. And it's like there were very specific tells that people had to where it's like Dream was like visibly frustrated or like was famously frustrated with like the amount of luck that got introduced into Minecraft with like the piglin farms and whatnot. Like this was before This was before people discovered like, oh, well, you can just go to a bastion and like piglin farm there, and you get a shit ton of piglins. So like the luck in that is just completely moot. But like back before those strategies were really being formed, Dream was having a tough time going about like, oh god, like this fucking like the new category and whatnot, and that's what ended up getting him to cheat. And the thing is that like he was a top player. He was like, I think he held the world record at some point. No, I don't think he did, but he was like pretty close up there is the thing. So like, and of course a lot of people will say, or what a lot of speedrunners will say is that like being a top speedrunner helps you cheat better because you are able to you are more effectively able to like hide your cheating than like other players are able to because you have a lot more knowledge of the game. So you know where to fudge shit. You know where to like. It's a cute. Is this the outfit that you were talking about? But yeah, it's back to what it was like. And it's that sort of thing that people miss because a lot of people tend to think like cheaters is like, oh, they always come from the bottom. No, they come from the top like very often. I guess like the one like prominent cheater in speedrunning right now that's coming from the bottom, shall we say, is it was a runner in Mario, like it was a Super Mario Brothers runner, and there was a lot there's like a lot of sus shit in his like videos that like it literally it legitimately looks like it's like TAS only shit. Like he's only been speedrunning for like maybe like a few months, I think. Maybe it was like half a year at this point. But he's been speedrunning these categories, and like he had also already gotten banned from like I think Super Mario Brothers Lost Level community specifically because like yeah, the shit's TAS only. Like there's no way you're able to effectively do this. But I think he was legitimately able to snatch the world record, and I say legitimately in terms of like well like he like what am I trying to say? Like I don't necessarily think that, you know, he legitimately like was able to get the world record, but he had the world record because of the times that he submitted in Super Mario Brothers. I think it was I don't think it was like I don't think it was warps category. I think it was warpless. But he had like the world record in that for a bit. I think he also had like yeah, it's a cute outfit. I like it. Yeah, sorry I'm regaling you about like random speedrunning shit that I'm kind of just um like passing over from other people who probably are able to more eloquently talk about these like topics or whatever. But you know, but yeah, that's but yeah, like more often than not, like in terms of cheating in speedruns, honestly, cheating in anything because like even look at shit like Lance Armstrong. Like Lance Armstrong was legitimately skilled, but he was like doping and like hitting his balls and shit like that because he didn't just want to be like legitimately skilled, but also right, I mean, whatever. Like it wasn't just like oh he was legitimately skilled and all that sort of stuff, but you know he wanted to be the best and he wanted to win the 7 Tour de Forces, so you know he hit his balls and got the dope, so you know all that fun shit. Yeah, yeah. This will probably be the last one for tonight. As much as if I could, I don't know, if somebody were to donate now for like a drawing, like I will probably do it like the next time I do one of these streams, which might probably will be Wednesday, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be like not tired as hell from the fucking surgery by then. Because like I said before, I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out on Monday, so that'll be fun. But yeah, Add a little more zhuzh to this. A little more zhuzh to the jacket. I don't know. It's interesting, and also I think that's like when I was talking about like people assume that like cheaters come from the bottom always and not necessarily from the top. That's also why a lot of his stands were like, no, there's no possible way that he's cheating because he is legitimately skilled at the game. Dream is, I mean. But that's why a lot of his stands were like, oh, he there's no possible way he could have cheated. But like, I don't know if this was like the kicker for me is that this was specifically like a string of lime streams that had like these like insane numbers, and it wasn't even insane numbers in the sense of like, oh, he was getting an ender pearl like 100% of the time. It was a slight increase to the drop rate, a slight increase to the drop rate to where it felt like, oh, he was just getting like a little bit luckier. But like if you actually looked into it, like you could see like the numbers, like yeah, there's no like way that you were able to there was no way that you were able to like feasibly get this, like because again it was over like 6 live streams over like literally 24 hours of playing Minecraft. Like it was like a pattern. Oh, I need to draw the poop. All right, I think it's gonna be. And I would want to color more, but I think that'll. I think save and then export, and I will get that to you. But yeah, thanks, Callie. Boop. But yeah, that's. We always seem to cover an interesting range of topics. So I always feel like at some point, like I'll end up like repeating and like just saying stuff over again. I'll figure out how to draw breasts well. They're water balloons. If that's the only thing you need to know about the lip boobies, it is water balloons. Yep. Sometimes it's depressing, sometimes it's esoteric shit. Well, not even esoteric shit. This was pretty like high profile, especially for speedrunning news. Like this was an I wouldn't call this like a scandal in the sense of like, oh, it's Watergate or even like Gamergate, but it was like, oh yeah, you need to. That'd be fun. Maybe I don't know. Maybe next time I probably will do a Sketch-A-Thon. I might do. I probably need to like. I might actually like stream on Sunday or something. Maybe just where it's like maybe just doing like fucking or maybe Saturday. I don't know. I'll have to see. It would be cool to stream. It would be cool to stream though. I don't. I guess the thing is that like also can you flip this pic? What do you mean? Like I see what you mean. Yeah, cause yeah, I can flip it. Oh, whoops, whoops. No, you got them the wrong way around. Yeah, I realized that as I was doing it, and I was like, hmm. Oh no, oh no. Um, yes, that'll be fine. Just I need to change canvas size. Can I just? Yeah, I can just drag this over. Oh, I got the heart on the. Oh, whatever. whatever. You'll accept the heart on the wrong side and you'll like it. Oh, okay, let me get that to you. But yeah. But yeah, it was pretty high profile. And I think that's stuck a little in like the popular consciousness of like people thinking about Dream. I mean, like, especially if he's not going to own up to it, which is like, yeah, he's never going to do it because that would like fucking ruin. Well, I don't even think that would ruin him. Like it hasn't ruined him. Like he's just like sort of blown it off. But like if he were to come clean and said, "Yeah, this is what I did," it's like I feel like people would like come out and like say, "Oh, well, it's in the past," that sort of shit. Like I'm not even like like that wouldn't be like a kill on sight thing for me either. It's just you know I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the intro. But yeah, that's tonight's show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We covered a wide range of topics from orthosis to flaffies to overthrowing capitalism to speedrunning to lying as a child. A very diverse range of topics. I hope you all enjoy. I think, honestly, I usually, yep, I don't. I'm honestly thinking I might just let this one slip into the ether, but I will probably do my due diligence and upload this to my YouTube for the Twitch VODs. Yeah, I don't know. No, yeah, fuck it, I will. It's fine. But yeah, yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the. Oh my god. Holy shit, there's a lot of people here. Well, hi. When did you come in? But yeah, hope everybody had fun. Hope everybody was, but yeah, if these streams come up again, don't be afraid to share them out. And even for like normal streams, don't be afraid to share them. Like even if you don't like donate or shit. Like I don't have to get donations on like any of the streams that isn't like, oh, pay me money to do this. Like, But yeah, but yeah, just sort of share the stream around. If you have fun, come back. It'd be nice to have you. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to probably be. I can't see how many people are here on mobile. I see 10 unique users here. I see an Abbott Costello, which cool. But yeah, yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed this. I'm gonna be signing off now. So yeah, stop streaming in 3,